Well, now there's somebody coming up who both you and David Spalding have run into at Historic Handy Hardware. It is the historic birthplace of the Viva NashVegas radio show. And when the show is not on, why, you can look on YouTube at NashVegas.tv and see many videos from right here at Kimbro's, or even at the historic birthplace of the Viva NashVegas radio show. Let's have a big hand for our friends Andy and Donna at Handy Hardware. Down there at Handy Hardware, there's all kinds of things you would expect to find in a hardware store, and so many other surprises. Of course, Viva NashVegas shirts, Think Globally, Act Hillbilly bumper stickers. You can even look through the glass window by the popcorn machine and see the Hillbilly Music Museum. There's one other person who's not always there, like David, me, and William, sitting on the front bench, chewing the fat, having some free popcorn, and watching people walk by. We watch him walk in and out with box after box of his latest novel. David, do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Joe Johnston!
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. Thank you, David.
You have a book.
I have a book.
And are you going to do a reading from the book?
I'm going to read a little bit from this book.
I'm going to get off the stage now, as you can imagine.
The name of this book is Franklin, and this book is about Franklin. There you go. There you go. Is there a better town, for all you folks listening worldwide, is there a better town anywhere than Franklin? I'll tell you why we love this town. My beautiful wife Becky and I came down here on Valentine's Day, and we spent the day falling in love, not only with each other, but with the town of Franklin. It is so fine.
Indeed.
It is I'm going to read you what this book says. I know what it says, but I'm going to share it with you. Ask folks about Franklin, Tennessee, and some will tell you what happened here during the Civil War. Some will focus on the public square and the celebrations that have been going on there for over 200 years. For others, it'll be the new housing development west of town. For some, like my beautiful wife Becky, it's the shopping just north of town. Yeah. But everybody will agree that Franklin's a town with one eye on the past and one eye on the future, shaped by what has been and embracing what will be, nurturing its legacy while dancing into the future. And you know, there were Native Americans living here a long time ago. And just like them, the settlers found that this was a great place to live. In the curves of the Harpeth River, settlers were drawn to the twisting Harpeth watershed with its rolling lands, abundant timber, clear creeks, and rich soil. The area would prove to be perfect for agriculture, especially sprawling plantations that raised, what do you think they raised here?
Tobacco!
Tobacco! Or that's illegal now. What else?
Ham!
Ham! Ham's legal. We have ham here at Kimbro's. Well, we have sausage. It's the same thing. Okay, and then they raise rye. And you know what you can make from rye? Rye! Whiskey. Yeah, okay. And they raise corn. And you know what you can make from corn? Moonshine! This is the happiest place on the planet. Okay. All right. I'm not reading from the book, am I? No. Okay. So we did that. So listen to this. Slaves and slave owners and their descendants have not lived separate black and white histories here, but one grand history full of heartache and joy and discovery. We're all part of one unending story that began with the first people in North America. My gosh, magic chef ovens were made here. The first man to chart the ocean currents was educated here in Franklin. Music stars call Franklin home. Some folks who live here are in the 7th, 8th, and 9th generation of their family to live here in Franklin. And they have a certain view of what this city is and what it should be. But you know what? There are thousands of tourists and newcomers in Franklin every year, and they also have a view of what this town should be. More than a city, Franklin is a place of people, homes, offices, and open spaces, all connected through a web of history that we are still weaving. And this alone is enough to make Franklin a great American treasure.
So Joe, this another story. He will probably read another excerpt from this fascinating.
An hour later.
Probably later. Oh wait, because David Spalding was going to ask you a question, because David bought one of the first copies that was out there at Historic Handy Hardware, and David has studied one of his favorite photos in the book.
Yeah, it's of me. So I'm worried mine because I'm in it.
What page is? Oh, here it is.
On page 120, there is a mass shot, and David is in this shot along with...
Yeah, that was a picture from the show Riders in the Sky. Came down to that show with us.
The lovely Miss Brenda Lee is in this
Lee's
photograph.
in there, and I believe Mr. Hamilton, George's daddy's in there.
And George Ford is in this photograph.
I believe William's in that photograph, and Amy and Tom are in that photograph.
Whoa!
There's quite a few in that photograph. But y'all, this book has got some photographs in it that are just priceless. And
But I mean, and so many books focus on one subject, but this one covers so many topics about the fabric of the life.
It does.
Well, one question before you go and have some more breakfast and then come back up and gather strength for the next reading. What about the Native Americans who lived here? Which part, did they live, I don't know where I live, but I'm not going to say the address on TV because I'll be like Sandra Bullock and I have to lock myself in the closet.
Don't do that.
I do that anyway. Well, come out of the closet today. Oh no! Hey! Now, the question is, did they live near downtown? The Native Americans. We had some Stonebox Indians actually buried on our street. Right in downtown.
Right.
Did you do any research on the Indians?
Oh yeah. The fact is, the Native Americans lived all along the Harpeth because of the way it twists around here. It creates all these great living spaces, and if it floods on this side, we'll go live over here. And if that floods, then we'll go live over here. So they lived all around here, and the fact is, there are folks like that buried all over this part of Middle Tennessee. But one of the interesting things that not many people know, but you will know after I say this, is that when the Europeans, the white settlers, moved into this area of Middle Tennessee, the Indians were all gone. It's like a Chaco Canyon kind of a mystery thing. But they left here and became the southeastern tribes, the Cherokee and Seminole, and all those. So that's pretty. But what's even more interesting, even older than that, we have a picture in this book of a mastodon molar. For all you dentists, all you prehistoric dentists out there, mastodon molar. It turns out this particular mastodon was a barbecue for 3,000. They had a real big grill, real mastodon-sized grill. They charged about $37 for one rib. One rib, because a rib's about,
Last 2 days.
Yeah, what was I talking about? Oh, so the mastodon, and so they dug this up. You know where the golf course is, just across I-65 up by Cool Springs Mall. This was in somebody's backyard. So you have Stonebox Indians. This guy had a mastodon. And this mastodon is dated to 14,000 years ago, which makes this area one of the oldest inhabited places in North America. Yay! And Willie was here. He remembers it well. Right? Okay, so there you go. There's your dad.
How about that? Now you know more about beautiful downtown Franklin, Tennessee. Joe Johnston! Hey!
You know, George, since we're talking about Franklin, we can follow up with a trivia question if you would like.
A trivia question from the man of constant leisure, David Spalding Jr. He is a man of constant leisure.
You're doggone right, an American man.
Yeah.
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 Is that the trivia question?
Oh.
And now, a trivia question.
For those of you who didn't clap, you'll get it tomorrow.
Well, that was a fun trivia question. Now,
Okay.
you have a question.
I do.
Do you want to ask it now or later?
You tell me. You're the host.
How long is it?
Short.
A short trivia question, and the winner gets a copy of our wonderful newspaper. And if you haven't gotten this yet, we've got many here. This tells the story of the Viva NashVegas radio show, and of course, William Covington, David Spalding Jr., and soon you'll meet Carol Ann Turney, but not for a little while. David, here's your trivia question. Remember, all bets are riding on you to win this newspaper.
Much building has occurred in Franklin, historic downtown Franklin. Parking garages, the new brownstone condominiums, and other tall buildings. What today is the tallest building in historic downtown Franklin? You, sir, with your hand up.
St. Paul's.
Incorrect.
You don't win the newspaper. Does anybody else want? Oh wait, we have another man.
We have George back here, and he's my ringer every show.
Oh, wait, you wrote the book.
Masonic Hall.
That's the winner.
What is it
Deal
again?
with this day, it's the Masonic Hall.
After all these years. But you know what, Joe? Since George already has a copy of the newspaper, you are my complimentary man.
I'm sorry.
And remember, folks, everyone's a winner at the Viva NashVegas radio show.
Yeah.
Right now,